Hello. In this video, I'll talk about one of the interesting DSA problem that was proposed to me. This problem is called as card sum problem. The rule of this card sum problem or this card game is you are presented an input list. Each of the input element within the list uh, represents the card value, right? So and you are expected to traverse from left to right. You are okay and open to select, or basically you have the choice whether to pick that card or not to pick that card. Your end goal is to not go negative. So for example, uh, at this zeroth index you have this card value as 4, at this first index you have this card value as -4. You are allowed to reach to the value of 0 whenever you will pick this 4 card. Your sum value will become 4, and as soon as you pick this -4 card, your sum value will become 0, right? So the whole problem statement of this particular DSA problem talks about what is the maximum number of card that you can pick. Here there is one catch and there is one nuance. So like, let's say there are multiple pathways from which you can obtain the maximum amount of card that can be picked. If we select this pathway, as if we are considering picking 4, then we if we are considering picking -4, right? So till 0 it is fairly allowed. Then we again pick the card as 1, right? We ignore picking the card -3 because that will make us go negative. We again pick the card as 1, right? And then again we have -3, so that we cannot pick. So if we select this pathway, uh, going from left to right and picking -4, so the maximum number of card that we can pick is 4, right? Now consider this: we avoid picking the -4. So in this case, we are avoiding picking the -4. Now the next card you pick is 5, is 1. So your sum value will become 5. Now the next card you can pick is -3, right? So the card you have picked is 3, and the power sum value that you have is 2, right? Now again you pick the card 1, your power sum value becomes 3, and now again you can pick this card -3, your power sum value becomes 0. So the value isn't that important here, but the power sum value or the maximum number of cards that you can pick is what is important in this DSA problem. So now let us begin writing the code for it. We will have a dedicated function that is solely responsible in giving us the maximum number of card that can be picked. So find max card pick function. This accept current card list, right? We will have some flag or variable. The power sum is initialized to 0, and max card picked is initialized to 0 for card in current card list. If card plus power sum is greater than 0 or equal to 0, because even 0 is allowed. So in this case, what you will do, you will apply power sum plus equal to card, and you will increase the max card pick to plus equal to 1, right? Now you are supposed to just return what is the maximum number of card that could have been picked. Now remember, we talked about there are multiple pathways that we can select. So this becomes our internal function that we will call, and what we will do is we will basically pick the default pathway. Then in the later iteration we will ignore picking this card. In the later iteration we will ignore picking this card, and then we will see what is the maximum number of card we are getting from across multiple pathways, and eventually we will get the output as 5. Okay, so here consider we have a card list initialized as this. All right, we can have a main function get max card pick. Here, let me change this to find current max card. Here, this will accept the card list as an argument. What we need to do, we need to iterate in this card list, and we need to have this index pointer to uh, have this multiple pathway ignore basically uh, the -4 in the second iteration, 1 in the third iteration, and so on and so forth. For idx comma, we are not interested in this in card list, right? Here we will have result list. Now we create our current card list as card list of idx. This will go up to that element, and this will be card list of idx plus 1 colon. This what we are effectively trying to do is ignore mm, element with iteration by iteration, and try to find out different pathways that we can do. So in first iteration, the first element will get ignored. In the second iteration, -4 will get ignored. In the third iteration, 1 will get ignored. So in the first iteration, current card list will have -4, 1, -3, 1, and -3, and accordingly this whole logic will get executed. So now we need to call this particular function current card list, and here let's we can directly append this to this thing, because this is directly returning the max card pick. So in the first iteration we will get some value, because the pathway that was selected was this, right? So in the second iteration, we may get 4 plus 1 plus -3 plus 1 plus -3. So from in the second iteration we will get max card picked as 5. Let us quickly check it, and this is what we are getting or not. We call this function now card list. Mm, sorry about this, I forgot writing the enumerate function over here. Yeah, so this is how we are getting the maximum number of card that was picked in choosing multiple pathways. Now this function is this whole DSA problem just talks about what is the maximum number of card that can be picked. So for the demo purpose, I'll just print this out, and as for the return statement, I will sort this thing, and I will return the latest element, right? Okay, thank you.